So, we are live for our very, very first Leader Spotlight. I am super excited about this. It's a great opportunity to interview some of the top producers on my team. And the reason I'm doing this is because if there's anybody outside of the industry who is considering joining, it's going to give them an amazing insight to what we do. But more than that, if you're already in the industry and you are forging your way through and you're trying to hit your promotions, there's going to be nuggets in these interviews because I am going to be finding some of the top ladies in my team to chat with. I've just seen she's clocked on. I'm going to be talking to some of the top ladies in my team and they're going to be sharing their insights, and you might have to search for those nuggets, but they are there. They're going to give you some top tips. They're going to be giving you some of their best insight into this industry that they love so much. So without further ado, Neesa, I'm going to invite you to the... Now I want to give Neesa a bit of a rock star introduction. So I have had the pleasure of knowing Neesa for the past, look at her, isn't she gorgeous?
Evening.
I've known her for the past 2.5 years, and she is one of life's true gems. And Neesa, I mean that from the bottom of my heart, darling. You are an absolute inspiration to so many. Your resilience and your determination. Now, in the last just over 2 years, right, that you've been doing this, you have built a team of 600 ladies nearly. You've done lifetime sales of nearly 20,000, and you have personally sponsored 115 ladies who you have helped in this business, as well as your wider team, which is just amazing. You've hit orange. You did. So you are working your way up the comp plan. You're 4'9.5". Neesa has been very, very specific about the half.
It's important.
The way I see that half, it's like it's 4'9.5" of concentrated awesomeness. And in the last 2 years, she has become one of my absolute best friends. And I love you to pieces, honey. And I just know. Don't cry yet. It's too early. And I just know that everybody else is going to love you as well. So how are you feeling? Are you excited?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm excited. It's good.
A bit nervous?
A little bit, but not too bad. I'm seeing lots of pocket rockets pop up on the screen, so that's helping. My girls are here.
The team love you. They absolutely adore you. So I'm just going to go through and I'm going to ask you some questions about your journey, honey. And I just want you to be as honest as you can and just share your experience in this industry and in this business. So my first question to you is, what did you do before you joined Unique?
So before I joined, I was a full-time working mum, and I worked for a Solent University, and I was managing the student accommodation. So I was responsible for all the refurb projects, getting students in, out quickly, turning all the accommodation over. So yeah, that's what I did. That was my full-time job for 8 years. And then I became quite poorly with my back. I've got a degenerative spinal condition. And unfortunately, after my second spinal operation, my employers just medically dismissed me on the spot. And so, yeah, I was kind of left with no career at that point.
After 8 years of working with them, how did that make you feel?
Oh, absolutely devastated and powerless, really, really powerless, because I had no control over that situation. Like, it was just me against a corporate institution, and I was outnumbered. So yeah, really powerless, and just determined never to put my finances in somebody else's control again. Never.
I completely understand that, and it is that feeling of utter helplessness where something has happened to you, it's completely out of your control, and you've given 8 years of your life loyally to this company. And to just be dropped like that, it must have come as an absolute bombshell. And I remember when it happened, and I'm just so sorry that it did, but I'm not at the same time. Because it's put you onto a path to something that's so much greater and so much more freeing.
Yeah, and everything happens for a reason. So what I would say to people is, if you're going through something similar, just believe that there's a reason for this, that something else is coming your way, and just look for it, be open to it.
Absolutely. There's nothing truer than the saying, when one door closes, another one opens. But if you're too busy dwelling on the door that's closed, sometimes you can miss the door that's opened. And I think that you're one of the most open-minded people I know, and you just go for anything. So, and it's absolutely paid off for you. It's the best way to be. I've never seen a successful cynic. You okay? Oh, I think we've lost her. Absolutely, Suzanne. She might need to jump out and jump back in again. Can you girls see her? See, we didn't plan for a frozen screen. I'll just fill for a little while until she does. Here she is.
Oh, sorry, it just went.
Leave me in the lurch like that, Neesa. So I guess that leads me to my next question, honey. Why did you join? I think you've...
Yeah, I needed something, and it had to be, because I'm a mum, I've got 2 boys, so it had to be something that I could work from home. With my disability, I could go out and work, but it would, by Friday, I would just be broken. So I didn't want to put my body through that, and mentally I wasn't strong enough to deal with that. So I needed an income, a way of making an income from home that was flexible around me and the boys, and that's what I found.
And we're not talking about a small back condition here, are we? You've had 2 operations on your back, haven't you?
Yeah. Yeah.
And I've been away with you on trips, and I've seen how it affects you. And that's part of why I adore you so much, because you never, ever complain about it. You just get on. And we've been on some very long flights together, and it's quite obvious you're in pain, but you just get on with it.
I'm sure I moan a little bit.
Tiny amount.
But yeah, mostly I can't change it. I can't change it, so I can only work around it. So yeah.
And you said that you've built this because of your 2 boys, and I was going to put in the introduction that you're a single mum, and you've built your business despite being a single mum of 2 kids. But I would say that it's not despite; it's because of that. Am I right in thinking that?
Yeah, totally. For one, I wanted to show them that it doesn't matter what happens in life, that you can get back up and you can fight for what you want to do. And you don't have to just go and work for somebody else and have your future in the hands of somebody else, I suppose. But I wanted them to see that even though mummy's had this, there's still something that I can do. I can still be successful. It's not going to hold me back whatsoever. If anything, it's just going to fuel me on.
What a great message to give them at such a young age.
Hopefully.
I think all of the people watching this will agree that you are an absolute inspiration, and your boys are going to grow up to be remarkable people with a mum like you, teaching them that kind of message. So, you know, what is this going to do for you? Let's dig into your why a little deeper. What do you really, truly, at the core of it, want to get out of this?
I want to reach the top of the company. I want to show, again, it's all about what I can show my boys and how that I can change our lives, that I can make it successful, that I can get to the top of the company no matter what. I can work hard, even though I'm in pain every day. And hopefully they see that, and like you say, they get that message. But it becomes a little bit bigger once you join and you have, you know, you said I've got nearly 600 ladies on my team. Once you get these ladies on your team, it becomes about them. And I just want to be able to empower as many women as possible, for them to know that they can do this. Yeah. Anything. It doesn't matter what it is in life. It doesn't have to be this. Anything they can do. But financial freedom would be nice. That's what we're aiming for. I've obviously got a mortgage that I have to pay. I'm a mum. I've got overheads like everybody else. So we want to be able to keep, you know, the roof from the door as such. But eventually the aim is that, you know, if I want to take my boys away for the summer, I can take my boys away from the summer. We'll be financially free and able to do that. So that's my goal.
It's not just the financial freedom though, right? It's the time freedom as well. It's having the choices, because you see a lot of people who have that financial freedom, but they wear the golden handcuffs, and it's like they're tied into a job that demands so much of their time. But this is quite possibly the only industry that I know of that allows you to make an amazing residual income, but also have that time freedom to enjoy it and not miss out on the moments with your boys, not miss out on the amazing things that life has to offer. And it really, I'm the same as you, and I know you very well, and it's about having choices. It's about having that freedom to live the life that you want and not the life that's kind of dictated to you by someone.
When I was working, so I worked full-time with Ethan. So I never had those, I didn't get to go to his first assembly. Every time I asked to take time off for work, it was a complete no. If my children were sick, I had to phone in sick, you know, and that when you're on the phone, mums across the UK will know, when you're phoning your employers to say that your child is sick, you already know what they're going to go, oh, okay. And it just kind of, it gave me a level of guilt. I felt guilty for being at work. I felt guilty if my children were sick. I felt guilty if I was unable to go to work because of my spine. And I was carrying that around with me every single day. And eventually it just drained you. And I'd never want to be in that position again.
No, I can imagine.
Yeah.
So I work with a lot of mums, and something that I hear on a regular basis is that when you have kids, your world can become very small. Did you find that?
I kind of did and I didn't, because I worked. So my world became very insular. It was work, pick up from nursery, drop off in the morning, you get up really early, drop them off. And I found I was always in a rush. I never had time for the kids, because we'd get home at 6 o'clock in the evening and I would know that I've still got work to do. And then I would cook dinner, think about bed. And it was always a rush. It was like, get to bed yourself. And that quality of life, in my opinion, was completely lacking. Completely.
Yeah. And now you get the best of both worlds.
Yeah. I get to be at home with Liam every day.
Yeah. Is that a good thing? Not always.
My terror.
Most days it's a good thing. He's such a delightful little boy. Most of the time.
Yeah. We'll go with that.
Neesa, what has this done for you so far?
Oh my goodness, like so many things. It's given me myself back. So when I first joined, I missed out where I'd split with my boy's dad, and I went through a phase of like not knowing who I was anymore. I lost my identity. I was just a mum. I was just working. So it's given me my identity. I know without a doubt who Neesa is now, and that is super important to me. Yeah. I lost myself in amongst everything. So I know who I am, which is amazing. It's given me confidence. It's given me self-belief over time. That came over time. But it's given me, honestly, it's given me travel around the world. I'm about to win a trip to Punta Cana, where we're all going to go to Mexico. I've been to Vegas, as you know, we've been together. I didn't do any of that. I sat in an office every day and was just bored out of my mind. Staring out the window, everybody else having fun. So it's given me that. And most of all, it's given me the most amazing friendships, like mind-blowing friendships.
Do you know how I kind of think of it? It's kind of like brownie camp for adults, but one that pays you.
I love that. I never had brownie camp.
Neither did I, but if I had it, that's kind of how I would imagine it. It is, and I think that nearly everybody that I ask that question to, what has this done for you? The answer, you know, it does have to do with finances, sure, a lot of the time, but most of the time it is about the friendship, and it is about the excitement and the energy and the fun, and just getting out and just being around other women who are supportive and who think like you and who are dreaming big and aiming for the stars. Yes. And it's just so empowering, especially when we go to these events and we're around other people. It's just the best feeling. And the travel, we've had some fun times, haven't we?
We've had the best times.
Not all we can talk about on a live.
No.
What happens in
Good behave.
Yeah. And we've got another one coming up at the end of this year as well, not just Punta Cana, but Spain as well. We're going on the Leaders Retreat, aren't we? And it's going to be a giant flamingo called Fanny. That should be fun.
You bought her.
But it's not all swings and roundabouts, is it? I mean, it's fun. We have fun and it is empowering. But there's the flip side as well. It's hard work, and we have a lot that we have to overcome on this journey. So my next question to you would be, what has your biggest challenge been?
I would say the leadership side of it, and more just having the confidence to lead and growing into that person that is in charge of a team. Not, you know, we don't tell people what to do in this business. We lead by example, and we kind of lead the way. So that's taken me a while to grow into that role. And again,
Come back, Neesa. Has everyone else lost her? If I freeze too, then it kind of lets me off the hook. All right, we'll give her a few seconds. I'll just fill for now. Hi, Katie. Hi, Lisa. Okay, that's all right then. She's gone. Right. Let's invite her back on. Bless her. I know what Neesa's like, and she'll be going, oh, I'm letting Lianne down, but she's not. Are you girls enjoying it?
I'm sorry. I don't know.
No, you're okay. I froze too.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah, I think everybody struggles with that element of it, because most of the time when people come into this business, they've never had any experience of leadership. And
yeah,
I mean, I know for me in particular, I had never had experience of, I'd had a little bit of experience in sales. I'd never had to recruit anybody. And I always say, if I could recruit people, I didn't know how to lead them. But here's what I've learned is that you don't need to be an expert to begin with. And everything you learn it over time. And women, I found, make the most amazing natural born leaders, because in this business, it's all about who you can help. It's all about, you only become successful if you can help other people become successful. And women are natural born nurturers. It's in their DNA. It's in their genetics to nurture and mother people and
put other people first.
Yeah, it's not about us. It's about the people. It's about their goals and what they can get out of this. And that's something that you really honed in on very, very early on in your journey. And I think that's why you propelled so quickly to where you are. And you are an amazing leader. And one thing I'll say, leaders are not self-designated. Leaders are chosen, and your team adore you. I can see a lot of them on here now. They love you and they choose you to lead them, and that just naturally makes you a leader, honey.
I love them more than they love me. And I think in the beginning, don't get me wrong, we all get into this because we want to earn some money. That's the first reason that you join. But very quickly you realise that in this business, you have to put other people first. And it's just having the self-belief in yourself to say, I'm worthy to lead a team, and stepping out and doing that. And when you can do that, then that's when it changes. It's a mind shift.
We always say this business is 90% mindset and only 10% skill, and it is making that switch in your head. And we do a lot of work on self-development, don't we, on building confidence and building self-worth and making you feel like you are worthy, you're deserving of the things that come in life. And I know I did a live on this the other day, so I won't go into too much detail, but it's something that all people face coming into this.
It's important. I think we're taught to go out and work and not follow our dreams. So we put them aside and we suppress it. So it's really important to do that.
Not the norm, what we're doing. Who wants to be normal?
We're weird.
I'll embrace that. I'll embrace my weirdness. I always have. So how do you feel about your leadership skills now?
I'm learning every day. It's like a growth. Every day you have to learn something new in this business. But I feel confident in my abilities. I know that I've given my all to learn this profession. Everything I do is to help my team. So I think confidence-wise, that's coming out. I'm definitely feeling more capable. Definitely.
And you should.
Yeah.
So for people that are just starting out in this business, Neesa, what would be your very best tip?
Just get started, like do it. Sometimes I find that women come into this business and they want to know everything, and you know, you tell me you haven't learned everything, and you've been in this business longer than me. So it's impossible to know everything, but you have to get started and you have to grow as you go. And what you don't know, you make up in enthusiasm. Like, we're selling makeup. Let's not get too deep. So literally just be passionate and be excited about it and do it. And then you'll find that before you realize it, you've learned so much. So that's my biggest tip.
Yeah, I find that a lot as well with people. They want to appear so competent from the get-go, and what they end up doing is they kind of aim, and then they what's the word? I've got like a saying. It's like ready, aim, fire, but they do it they're meant to do it the other way around. It's like ready, fire, and then aim, because you take the shot, you learn from it, you get it wrong sometimes, you don't judge yourself, you give yourself permission to make those mistakes, you adjust, you revisit what you could have done better, take aim again. And I think a lot of people spend a lot of time getting ready to get ready in this business, when really...
And I think as long as you're constantly evaluating what you're doing, and if something's not working, it's a definition of madness to keep on doing it. So just evaluate. But I have a saying to my team. I always say that I failed, because they sometimes say, Neesa, how did you do it? And I say, I just failed forward. I just kept on failing and retrying and retrying. I wasn't scared. I think it's not be scared to... Failing's not, it's not failure. You know, if you don't hit straight away, that's okay. Like we have, like you say, give yourself permission and just go for it. Just like I said, go for it. Don't, just keep going.
I think a lot of the time people watch leaders in this business and they think that they just had this natural born gift, and they just literally went out and did it, and they didn't make any mistakes, and it was a straight line to success. But I know I personally have made so many mistakes, and I've broken the rules sometimes, like completely unknowingly, and like we're all in the same boat here. And I've always forgiven myself my mistakes and learnt from it and grown from it and moved forward. And I think that is the best way to grow. And they call it plan, do, review. You plan something, you do it, and then you review what you did and plan how you could do it better. But I really like the ready, fire, aim rather than ready, aim, fire. I just think just do it, girls. Just get up and do it. Okay, so my next question is, what's your top book as far as self-development goes? What would you recommend everybody listen to?
For me, it was Feel the Fear and Do It Anyway. So that just got me ready to just do it. Like I say, like sometimes things are scary. Like, this is scary. Being interviewed live is a little bit scary. Actually, I've just realised I didn't even share it, Lianne. Rookie error. So yeah, I found that Feel the Fear and Do It Anyway just set me up to keep pushing myself, to keep growing, and to keep, like, every time my comfort zone starts to shrink again, to push it back out. So yeah, that was my biggest book, my best book, without a doubt.
It's one of my absolute favorites as well, and it's one of the first books I read when I joined, and I've read it probably about 3-4 times now. And I think my biggest takeaway from that book is that the only way to overcome fear is to do it, is just to go out and do it. And the alternative is to spend your life in fear. It's to spend your life kind of shrunk back. And for me, that is a bigger fear for me. That bigger fear is living a small life because I'm too afraid to go out and do what I want to do. And the other big takeaway I took from that book is that everybody's the same. Everybody has fear. It's not that the successful people have been fearless. They've just had the courage to face their fears. And so if other people are doing that, then you can too. And I found it so reassuring to know that other people kind of were in the same boat. I think there was a saying, I can't remember who said it, but it was that the treasure you seek is in the cave you fear to tread, or something along those lines. And it's so true. It's so true,
because you don't get anything from not trying. So at least if you try and you do prove, like I've had fears along the way, but I just pushed myself. Like the first time that you asked me to talk publicly, thought I was going to die. That's no exaggeration. Like, I was petrified. It was my biggest fear. Like,
Yeah.
I can't even tell ladies how scared I was. I was shaking and I thought I was going to be sick, but I did it and I enjoyed it. And I was
You
like,
smashed it out the park and you
and
love
then
it now.
and I was like, what was there to be scared of? So normally the thing that you have to be scared of when you do it and when you achieve it, you're like, what was I so worried about?
Yeah, absolutely. And when you do it over and over again, it just ends up inside your comfort zone. And then you can stretch yourself that little bit further to the next thing, widen that comfort zone a little bit more. And that is how you grow. So I completely relate to you. A lot of the time people see what we do and they say, it's okay for her. She's really confident. It's okay for her. She can get up on stage and she can do this. But it's no secret, it took me 7 months to do my first video.
I know.
And the thought of going live on my timeline and interviewing someone like this would have given me high blood pressure without a shadow of a doubt. And you just grow into it along the way and you just keep pushing yourself, and it turns you, this industry, it's not what you do, but it's who you become along the way. I really kind of feel that
100%. I am not the person that joined this company 2 years ago. No way.
No. And I'm excited to see what the next 2 years are going to bring. Speaking of which, where do you see yourself in 2 years' time?
Top of the company. Without a doubt, that is happening. It's a given.
It is
just so everybody knows that's happening. The kick-ass beauties are going to the top. But yeah, that's my big goal right now. Top of the company, and then I'll work from there, just like you did when you got there.
Absolutely. Oh, hello, John.
Hi, John.
Guest appearance. Absolutely. There's no doubt in my mind whatsoever that you'll be black status, honey. No doubt whatsoever. It's written in your cards. Awesome. Well, on that note, thank you so much, Neesa, for being the first person to take part in my leader spotlight. I can see that the girls have been chatting away in the comments.
Give him love.
We will go and read them in a second, ladies. But I'm just so honoured that you would come on here. It has been a big push out of the comfort zone for both of us, and it's been an honour to do the first one with you. You really are a rock star. And I'm excited. I'm really excited to see where this is going to take you.
Yes, and obviously we can't go without just mentioning Ireland, because we're off to Ireland. So we're looking forward to going to see all the Irish ladies. And we'll see you when we get there.
Next weekend. Awesome.
Yes.
Thank you so much, Neesa. And thank you, ladies, for tuning in. We will do more. Love you lots. Bye, girls.
Love you. Bye.